take over.
Okay,
This is the funniest thing.
I got to do a meeting the other day with my retainers.
Are you doing it too?
Well, I wear braces,
Oh,
so
you wear
mine is
braces.
just retainers. I
Oh,
need to be in it, but maybe I'll forget. If they're downstairs, I'm not walking
What's that?
So
how do
y'all when I'm talking to y'all. I see you looking at the camera.
Does it show we're live on Cousin Fam?
That is crazy.
We are. Okay. Hey y'all! I don't even see you,
I don't
Jackie.
see-
You hiding?
No, I can see Jackie. I'm looking at Jackie.
What are you looking? Who are you looking at?
Me?
I'm looking at Jackie. Yeah, I can see y'all.
Y'all,
Oh. It's like a delay.
It's a big delay. This is a big delay.
It's
I can't-
because we're looking at it on YouTube instead of on the thing. Okay.
Okay, now I see me.
Right. Okay. Welcome to Cousin Fam Brunch Break live.
Welcome. This is live. Hello, brunch breakers. This is funny because we're just trying to we have different laptop, iPad, and we have some guests here.
We
We
do.
have
Look.
favorite. And I'm trying to. And I have a puppy. It's a party because there's a little puppy on my feet.
We're in person.
Hello. Grace is trying to get up in here. Hey, baby. Come here, baby.
Okay.
Okay, everybody. Well, hello, brunch breakers. How are you doing this wonderful Sunday? We're here. And we're here with Jackie.
And Altisha.
Yes. I took a little visit. Got my COVID test and it was negative. So I'm testing all over the place. I've taken this test I don't know how many times, but negative. So it was like a pre-birthday for my girl Kaz here to say hi and surprise.
Yeah.
And I got to meet.
She lied to my face.
Yes. And I got to meet Altisha. Y'all, look at y'all. We can see. I'm loving every minute of this.
We can see you live,
Listening, and going.
and we can see you on the screen whispering.
So yeah, so we're just here chatting it up. I'm getting ready to leave soon. So we just want to say.
Oh wait, let me mute YouTube because it's. Sorry. Okay, it's stopped. Okay, good. Foolishness. Wait, why do I still hear it? I just told you it stopped. Okay, there it goes. Got it. Okay. What I'm doing. Well, y'all see how bootleg, I mean, not bootleg, that's not the right word, because we're just not accustomed to actually being together. Because I don't think we've ever
we didn't
done not in person.
We were supposed to one time,
but
and it didn't happen.
Too good.
And but we're doing it now. So we're trying this new thing. Hey, boo-boo. So yeah, so
sorry.
So
and we are also live on Instagram right now.
So the main thing is sisterhood, support. We've been talking about this. This is Women's History Month, almost over, but we're still here. We never leave so we were talking about empowerment. We had a discussion last night over dinner about being single, because we started this Kaz and Fab with me and my dating issues. Being single, being independent, wanting a good man, but wanting a grown man, a man that acts like a grown man and not a child, a man baby. And we all have different stories, and all guys aren't bad. So it's not a bashing, guys, it's not a bashing. But so that's what we were talking about. Yes, I'm petting a little baby here. So yeah, so that's what we've been talking about, right, guys?
Yes. And talking about like the difference in dynamic, like whenever you've been a sister doing it for yourself, how somebody else fits into that dynamic. And sorry.
Yes.
And what y'all both look very like.
Yeah, just like, So you can chime in too. Okay, Jackie was one of our first brunch breakers. So she's acting like she knew to this, and she shouldn't be.
She's new to this.
But so you could jump in at any time, just like we were doing it last night and chilling. Yeah. So what's your take on? Well, you're married, happily married. Yeah. And I did ask you before about getting to the second date, third date, and all that. That guy has passed. He's gone. The ship has gone. It's over. But I'm still out there trying to date. Altisha, you're also trying to date. Yes. And it's hard during COVID, doing this, and this, like you said, like we were talking last night, we're independent. We have our own jobs. We have our own careers. We have our home. We have our own fur baby. So how is it? It's hard to get the perfect match or that someone to
and when you
match
somebody, it's not going to be perfect.
Yeah,
I think that's like a very like a misnomer, because it's like, okay, you're going to find your person and everybody's going to live happily ever after. But it's like, what living happily ever looks like is what you are willing to like work towards. And I don't mean like the struggle love, like, I know he got 6 other girlfriends, but he chooses me every day. No, he doesn't.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
For me, like you can't even get to the perfect match when you guys like on Hinge, for instance. And they're on Hinge, but they don't want a relationship. So they're like, why be on Hinge? Like, why not do Tinder? Why not do other options? Like, you're on the app that's
because you're getting
deleted.
Different quality of.
But then you're on like.
Well, they're on many different apps. They're not just on Hinge. They're on Hinge. They're on Tinder. They're on Bumble. They're on everything.
Coffee Meets Bagel. They're on every.
Okay, so y'all gonna have to run that back for me. So why is Hinge? The theme is meant to be deleted.
It's the app that's meant to be deleted. That's the whole.
You're supposed to be meeting somebody.
So it's very intentional.
But that's supposed to be
very intentional.
Yes, and you're going on there.
It's the same situation that's on Tinder. That's on every other thing. Because people are on there saying, "Oh, I want a relationship."
They don't.
I want a situation.
Exactly.
And I don't need an app to help me find a situation.
No.
I can do that on my own.
I stopped at the gas station today and some strange man. No.
And that, like a lot of strange. It does. So it's hard. And like you said, it's intentional. We're going on there intentionally to meet somebody.
Yes.
But people have hidden agendas. And they could have those hidden agendas if you meet them at the gas station or on Hinge or on Bumble, or someone sets you up with somebody. People do. So you just never know.
So what do you do to combat that? So what does that look like for you? If you're like, this is what I want, I'm clear about what I want, and you keep encountering people who are like, I'm clear about what you want, but what I actually want is
like you being single.
I think, be happy with being single. Get really happy being single and being by yourself and being okay being by yourself. Oh, because I'm looking at your face. I'm looking at Jackie's face. I'm like, am I really that funny? Okay. So I think just being okay with being single.
And choosing you, even when you're having those conversations, is very intentional. Conversation I had last night. I am ready for the family. I want the corny pajamas on Christmas.
Yes.
I want all of it. So like, I know I can't get there with a situation. So like, if you're not ready for corny pajamas, probably should keep it moving. We should talk. Like now,
so do you have
I'm
that?
trying to intentionally.
But do you have that conversation? So like, are you intentional with you about it, or are you like, actually, I made this clear boundary for myself as far as what I'm looking for and what I want. And so when you say about being intentional, are you saying to the person, so about these corny pajamas that I'm committed to in our future, where are you? Like, is that date 1?
So that's not date 1, because I don't want to push anybody out. Because I met a guy who was like, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, too much.
Okay,
it's
too much.
Too much. Like the ease.
We got to ease.
It's different if it's someone that it's different if it's someone that you know that you guys have a friendship and then you guys transition into that type of relationship. That as day one, because you guys have been friends, that person you can have that honest conversation to be like, here's where I am, because more than likely you would have had some similar type of conversation, because even though when we have male as friends, a lot of times our male friends are the guys that we bounce off our relationship off of to say, hey, and they're the ones that's going to be honest with you, be like, girl, he's not trying.
Stop the timer.
This is live. This is live.
Alexa, mind your business.
Alexa, stop.
Oh, she's not
She always gives me the
Alexa,
smile.
stop. I'll put her outside.
I unplug my Alexa all the time.
Alexa's not.
Because she just starts talking to me
Yeah.
from time to time. I'm like, I'm not even talking to you. What are you
Yeah.
telling me stuff?
Yeah,
But
she's
we-
all in the tea. She's just like,
You were trying to? Oh my.
what and who
So-
and what.
So you were saying we bounce off of guy
So we
friends?
bounce off of our guy friends,
Mhm.
like our relationship. And so they're usually, if you have true guy friends, they're
Yeah.
usually honest with us to say, no.
Dave
he's
used to
running
tell
game
me
with
he's
on you,
trash
or
on a
he's
regular.
trash, like he's moving like, no.
Yeah.
So when you're coming into that type of relationship,
This is what happens.
we're all the way clown.
But that's what I'm saying. The funny part is when we're all in our own places, it's like a very clear and distinct, okay, this is that. Now we're in person, we don't know how to act. We're
Don't
like,
know how to act. You don't know
anybody
how to
turn the
act.
phone off because we're like, we all together. What's calling us?
No, Jackie calls right whenever we're taking.
Yeah.
She's always. Yeah. It's too
And we
funny.
kidnapped her again today.
But yeah, so you were saying about the having guy friends and bouncing off and them being truthful and honest with us. So what if you don't have guy friends like that? What if you don't have guy friends like that you're trying to date? I don't have a lot of guy friends. I have a few, but I don't have a lot. I don't.
You don't need a lot.
I'm like, you just need a good one.
You need a good one.
Yeah,
You
I
need
don't.
one good
Look,
one.
I had a good one. He's my husband now. She
Right.
had a good one. He's her husband now. So
Well, the ones-
Y'all want to marry me?
Yeah, I know, like,
I might have a 30-year-old plan with a guy, but now I'm 35.
But that's what I'm
I'm still single at 30, then you know, you and I will get together.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we all have
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Like I think every woman needs one good guy friend that is just like I remember when I was younger and I used to date my good guy friend. Like if I met a guy and I was just like, my best friend is a guy. I do have a best friend that's a girl too, but my best friend is a guy. And he comes along with the situation, nothing has happened. Like y'all could meet, blah, blah, blah. Like y'all
But how
could
does that
keep
go?
it. And I'm just like, you have to understand that's about me. Like if you can't be comfortable in yourself and in your manhood that you have a girlfriend that her best friend is a guy, then I'm not the girl
But
for
you know what I'm
not
gonna
the girl
ask
for
you.
Same way.
You know, I was gonna
The
ask
same.
you if, because I have this conversation with my husband now because, you know, one of my best friends is a guy. And so when I have the conversation with my husband about, he always asks me, so if I had a woman that I was friends with the way that you guys are friends, how would you feel about that? And I was like, yeah, but it's different. I mean, I'm just saying for me, because of my husband's personality and because of my personality, I would be like, because she would literally have to magically appear. You know what I mean? It would be like a new friendship.
Yeah.
And so it would be like, well, wait a minute. It's so nice to meet you.
Yeah, we're
Like,
because he doesn't
you know,
have, yeah.
Because he doesn't, it's not
Doesn't
that,
have.
he doesn't.
So
So,
he's trying to say, if he did have a
Yeah.
female friend
Right.
like that, how would you?
and I don't know, because it's like, y'all know my husband.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about if he did though.
I have to evaluate it myself.
Yeah.
I'm a Pisces at heart, but a lot of my intuition never fails me. So I would have to be around her to see what it feels like.
Because that happened to me. That happened to me.
Friends, and you have others
Okay.
that I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
this girl
Okay.
likes you.
No.
Right. And then they have their initiative.
That actually happened to me. That happened with my ex. He said his best friend was a girl. We met, she was cool, and he was really cool. And I was like, okay, everything was good. And then later on and deeper into the relationship, and I was in the months, turned into a year. And it was a situation, and we had to give a party. I didn't want to give, it was his birthday. And I was trying to set up a surprise birthday for him someplace. He's like, oh, we could give it at her house. And I didn't want to do that. I'm like, why?
Are we having your birthday party?
And I said, you know what, whatever. And I went along with it. And little things were starting to happen. And I was like, something doesn't feel right. And when we had this party and we had to use her house, she got very possessive. It was weird energies coming different places. And I was like, saying like, so something happened with us. It was some situation. Then after the party was over, I talked to him about it. He was like, you lying, you fib, no. I'm like, something's not right. And then she happened to call and ask him whatever he had on speaker, and he mentioned it. And she said, oh, did I say something? She didn't know I was in the room. And he was like, what? He was like, Mo's here. Dad, Mo. And she was like, oh, let me go. She had to get on the phone. Like he had to see that what I was saying was right. And to find out when he first introduced me to her, it was his friend. Find out later, he did have relations with her. It didn't work. And then they say,
Lord.
So
in that situation, but there's a lot of situations like that, because a lot of times when men and women are friends, first it starts out with we're men and women, it's first an attraction, and then it doesn't work. We're good, but then it's still maybe something in the back of the mind that's like, what if, cold night,
right?
So
Christmas time,
I have two Mo's
Valentine's Day. It happened. It had birthdays
in my life. I have Monique Mo and I have Mo. I have Fab Mo and then I have my guy friend Mo. And I know this Mo. He was.
Oh, look. She's like,
he was married. He was married.
Yeah.
He's not anymore. But we did.
Oh, okay.
And we kiki and all the time. Like he knows my husband. They don't talk, but they know each other. And then he's cool with it. But I did have a guy friend that his girlfriend at the time had an issue with us being friends because we were very close. And he was just like, oh my gosh, my friend Jack, blah, blah, blah. And she was just like, So he talked to me about it. And I was just like, no, I can get it because she's probably thinking, I'm one of those chicks that's hanging in the cut, like,
yeah.
But I was just like, no, let me meet her so we can talk. So the three of us was talking, and like we talked and we hit it off, and we were talking through the situation. And like some of the things she was saying, I was just like, no, I agree with her. Like, you can't have certain conversation. Like, I'm your friend. She is your person in a different way. So you have to separate how you have those types of conversations, because no woman wants to hear like, oh, my best friend is the bomb. You know what I mean? And because it makes you feel somewhat kind of like, a certain way. And so
you don't want to be competing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because sometimes people do it inadvertently where they're like, oh, well, when I talk to her about this, woo, and it's like,
right, I don't care about her opinion.
Right.
Right now,
right.
But I've also lost male friends though. Like
I have
because of relationship.
I mean, like school moves, from middle school, like after their relationship and their girls not comfortable with it for whatever reason, then they leave. And now the friendships, like I've lost so many.
Because
it's hard because like I don't want him because I know him. And if you knew him like I know him, you might not want him too.
That's probably part of the reason. That's probably part of the reason why you lose the friends, because a lot of times in that scenario, you sit down and hang out, y'all like, oh, she's actually cool. I actually like her. And then it's like, well, wait a minute. I don't want y'all sitting talking about me because she knows too much of my stuff. So it's just better if we all go our separate ways. And you're like, I didn't do nothing wrong.
I mean, it hurt the first, the second time. By the third time, I was like, you met somebody, let me get out.
And like, even that friendship, like Nicole and I, we're still good friends.
Are they still together?
No.
I lost a friend. She ain't even still here.
No, but I'm still friends with her. I'm still friends with her. Like we're like, I haven't talked with, like, we were good friends for a while. Like she had to visit me, and like when I lived in Chicago, like we hung out, like stayed in my house, like we were cool. So
I'm not mad. I don't want him, and we're good. Like
yeah. So
My thing is, you ain't got a lot to kick it in 2021. So if you want a situationship, oh, you want a
Just say,
situationship.
Did
You
y'all
can
did
go
y'all
easy
want
to have a
that?
situation.
You ain't gotta fake it. Like,
You don't.
don't say you're looking for a relationship. Because I could also decide, you know what, right now, the next couple months, I'm cool with a situationship. You can still kick it.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I think the difference in the reason why you tell that lie is because if I say to you, I'm feeling you and I want to be in a relationship, my hope is that locks down anybody else's opportunity to be in my personal space.
Right.
And so if they said to you, like basically you ain't got to lie to kick it, then wait, so that means you got permission to do what I'm doing?
Right. And clearly, you know, from my past experience,
Right.
that dudes can't handle it. They want to jump out there like, oh, if you see me on the public,
They
don't
want
act
to do,
crazy.
you can't do it. You
You're like-
cannot do it.
I'm like that. I can use the same energy.
Yeah, that's why they're not gonna be straight up with you. They're not gonna be straight up with
You can't handle it.
you. You know, so.
There was when I was like, and guys would be like, oh, I'm in a relationship. And I remember I said to this guy, I was just like, if you want a situation, just be honest and say you want a situation. Because if you tell me you want a relationship, then I'm gonna explain to you like
I got
we're
expectations.
not doing a horizontal mambo. Like,
Right.
there's just certain things that we're not gonna do. And so you gotta be okay with that. And if you're not, then don't try
You
to
wasting
like
my time and
continue
your
to-
time.
because you're gonna be upset. You're gonna be frustrated. And we both gonna be frustrated.
No.
Because I'm looking for something real and you out here like, I just want to lay down.
But I was just
And I might be okay with waiting out and try to be something real.
And that was kind of
Like, still have
yes, and that's what I said. Hey, tell me that you want the situation because who knows? I might have a weak moment. I'm like, a girl got some.
It needs,
Yeah, but at least I know it, and at least I
It's like, I got a little itch.
It gotta be mutually beneficial.
Yes.
The moment when it's not mutually beneficial, if you don't want to benefit, I'm not benefiting. Not for me. Now somebody else might be okay with one-sided relationship. I'm not.
So do you feel like that has been a change where we kind of let each other down? Where I'm like, okay, I'll take this little piece of him and that's cool. And then he show up to you being like, well, she said it was cool to take a piece of me. And you saying you don't want none of me because somebody else is getting. Yes, that's what I'm
It
saying.
depends on like, everybody's like in a different place, right? So I feel like there are some guys where like a situationship and based on what's happening would have been okay. Like I might have to have a situationship with you. Because I know you're not my person, but you're a cool guy. Like you're great. We hang out, we have a good time together. I can hang out with you for a few months and we're okay. But you're not my husband.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm good with it because I'm not gonna also lead you on.
Right.
Because I'm gonna be clear with you from the beginning. Because we all have choices. Again, I want you to be knowingly to make your choices.
Their choices.
But
Here. Yeah, I think that's the thing, because back in the olden days, being in, but having a conversation where somebody was like, yeah, so I think, we should date, like, this is new, we're trying to figure out what's happening. I don't really want to be out here like we're trying to do this because we're still trying to figure it out. And we should date other people. And then being confused that I was like, okay, it's not really my flavor, because I was like, oh, wait, you like me and you want me to be liking other people too? Like, that's what you're saying. But a lot of times that's not what they're actually saying. They're saying, I want to date other people, but I don't. And so it was like this confusion of, so wait, you actually dated other, you asked me to date other people when we started out.
Like, last night. Oh, you're brave. Like, because we do have standards. Everybody does not.
Yeah.
So like, once you are clear with yourself, like what you want, and you draw the line in the sand, then having to be brave. And I'm like, but I'm also tired of being brave. I'm tired of being strong. Like, because they've released the standards and let you do what you want to do. Now it seems like you're doing too much, and I'm really not, because I'm not asking for you.
You're not
like,
doing.
literally,
You're not doing too much
every day with intention.
And what you call, was it George Lopez? His wife gave him a whole kidney, and they still got divorced. Like,
And I want my kidney back. I'm steady.
I was gonna say, yes, now you get it back.
Somebody else.
Now you get it back.
That's why I can't. No, that's the way I'm giving my kidney. You can't be out here seeing the next girl.
With my kidney.
With your kidney.
you having drinks with her. That's
That's
giving.
just the breakup is like, due to your, it's not on me. I have a hard time.
Oh, you don't want your kidney back? You cool? You like, I gave
If
my
it's
kidney out.
mutually okay,
I gave
if
my
we-
kidney because at the time when I gave it, I gave it with the
Give it back. Give it back. Give it back and get another kidney from her.
I put you, Mo. I don't know, you can dang all you want to, because
I'm just-
especially if it's on you. If we broke
Yeah.
up also,
Yeah.
because you were being a,
Depends on the situation. Yeah.
But what if we held on longer because I was like, this kidney is expensive.
right, and you using my kidney too.
we got
I be
our
like,
problems.
you using my kidney? And again,
He's
this
like,
is
what's your
like
blood type? What's your blood type? He's
up and down for years, but like, it's hurtful when you really
Oh,
love
yeah,
somebody.
kidney.
When people
Yeah,
like,
but they was together for a really long time.
Oh,
and I don't think you feel way together just because you together.
But that's what I'm saying.
A positive. A positive. I got you.
I don't give him the kidney.
You would give him your kidney?
Because here's the thing. At some point, right, I had mad love for you.
Yeah.
And when I gave you my kidney, I gave it to you really because I had love for you.
And I don't want you to die.
And
I'm like, I want you
to die. And at the point that it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. And especially if we have kids, like, I want my kids to have their daddy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you, but
you gotta be alive for the
but
kids.
you need to be alive. You need to be alive for them. So I give you my kids. You can keep it. It's
Mhm.
okay.
I don't know.
It's a whole lifestyle
It's-
change
it's
that
a-
comes with giving a kid. I like to drink.
Yeah.
If I give you
Oh
my
no,
kidney,
you have to.
I
Yeah.
gotta change my whole
You have
lifestyle.
to change
So
everything.
like
to
now
be
my whole
healthy.
lifestyle change.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's a
And
lot.
I'm a really like nice, giving, genuine person. But I would
Yeah.
have feelings behind it.
And then what happens if something happens to your kidney? Like,
Right.
You know,
And now
yeah,
I'm
like,
starting
you're
and you
sure
like
it couldn't-
honeymooning with this?
yeah. Because something can happen. Because that's the
Johnny
whole thing.
Cage
Something could
was-
actually happen to you.
Take the kidneys out. Johnny Cage when they got divorced, and John thought he was gonna travel and be on the yacht with his new girl. You come here with 8 kids, and you out here, you gonna have to take 4. You gotta put down the middle. Everything else is split. Like I'm not gonna be here.
Yeah.
I do believe that there should be joint custody.
Of what? Kidneys? Oh, kids.
Kids.
Oh. Sorry. I thought it was some kind of kidney. I'm sorry.
I literally.
Of kids, yeah, I think it should be joint custody of kids. I think, but every situation is, I mean,
Every
it's,
situation is different.
but I
Now,
think, yeah.
I think, okay. In real talk, though, a lot of guys nowadays,
Mhm.
they are full custodial parents.
No, a lot.
Like,
No, a lot of them
like,
are doing it.
I know guys.
A
Shout
lot
out
of
to
them.
the brothers. Like,
Yeah, a lot of them are doing
I
it.
know
A lot of them are
two,
doing it.
and one of them is one of my best friends.
Mhm.
Well, you really have loud, Jack. What about these guys that got full custody of their kids?
Well,
I'm trying to figure out what-
She-
yeah.
She's talking about these single dads,
These
and
single dads.
she's
lot of
trying to
single
pull
dads.
up.
Yeah.
She's trying to pull up.
I know.
She's trying to pull up.
Well, no, wait. You start getting hooked up with friends all of a sudden, and I've been single for a long time. And I ain't been hooked up with nobody. Okay? So if all of a sudden I come back 2 months from now, Altisha's like, we're all together, this new girl, and Jess like, yeah, this is my boyfriend, whatever. I'm like, I'm gonna be hurt. And I'm telling everybody.
Listen. So about your.
So you have to get 2 guys.
about your
Okay?
situation
You gotta get some over there and you gotta get some over here.
Drink my latte.
Wait. Oh, no, don't try to Starbucks. They ain't giving us a check.
You see how I'm trying to drink mine over here, like.
Like, they ain't giving us, so they get that check, then, you shout them out. But
We'll
it's
be out
good
here
though.
like-
It's good though. It is good. Yeah, okay.
I saw old milk
No,
meme and thought about you, bro. Like,
But what we were saying last night, those two, I'm tired of being brave sometimes. I'm tired of just doing it on your own, and like I think someone sent the big thing about old ladies going in and falling and no one there to catch you. I mean, it's like,
how we gonna pick her up?
no
Like,
one can
what?
pick her up. So you want to be with someone, and it's so much game out there. It's
No,
so
literally,
much
I mean, thank
game.
God, like I've met Karen and Jackie and couples. I'm always like living here. If something happens to me, like
Who's gonna, yeah.
if it's on the weekend, now Monday through Friday, my job, because I show up every day, so I know
Okay.
if I don't show up for me, and they like,
Where are you?
They're like, wait a minute.
but like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like a lot can happen. So like not having anybody just to make sure you are at a minimum safe every day. Like sometimes
Yeah.
it's the most basic need, like that's just not met because you're not checking in with anybody every day.
But mind you, you know, that's a gift and a curse, because since we met you, we have kidnapped your whole life.
That's what happens.
We kidnapped her whole
That's kinda
life.
like
Like,
what happens.
There's
nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
it's a beautiful thing to know that you are loved and supported. And it's also great conditioning
Yeah.
when you're single, because you learn, oh, it's not a difficult thing to love me fully as I am,
Yeah.
because people show up and do it every day. And so it's not pulling teeth. Like, I don't have to be like acrobatics to be a whole different person. Like, I show up as I am, fully accepted and still fully loved. So I believe you could do that too. And it, you know, so it's a great thing to have that, especially in COVID and all
Oh,
this
gosh.
craziness.
I
Just-
have to say,
Oh,
I was
COVID.
just like,
Oof.
COVID like taught me, not taught me,
Reminded you.
reminded me like how great my sister circle
Yeah.
is. Like, I have a great sister friend circle. Like,
Yeah.
Because when I tell you
and
the
we're
show up
all
Olympics,
over, yeah.
like, when I tell you, and it's such a, you know, I have all brothers. And so it's like God is like if you would have had a sister, it would have been like this. And it's like, man, I guess that's why I don't have no sister, because I would be.
Well, I'm an only child.
Yeah.
I'm an only child.
So like,
Yeah,
I'm happy to have, like, mine is
Yeah, so I'm
like, girl, he tried me, or what
Yeah.
I did for my job, like, mine
You
is happy
need
to
that.
have older
You need
people.
that. And yeah. So it's a good thing. Like you said, COVID, it helped. We had our Zoom parties, we had our mixology parties, and she knows, and you know, I many nights just crying because I'm like, I'm by myself, especially in the beginning of it. It was like, you know, the whole wasn't dating no one anyway. And I was like, we can't go out, we can't lounge, because I love me a lounge.
But that's why I said
I
at
love
the
being
beginning,
sexy
it
at
was
the bar like this. And I'm like, I can't do
Go to
that.
a bar.
Oh my,
I put my lashes back.
yes, yes,
Fix my lashes.
yes,
And order a new pizza.
exactly. You know, so and then
Look,
month after
Look,
month
with
kept
not
happening.
through the
Not
mask.
through the mask.
Not being like,
Exactly.
"Hi, there,
Exactly. Exactly. But month after month, it was like, by yourself, by yourself. Oh my God.
And then married people like, oh my God, you're so lucky. No, because at the end of the day, you have somebody else in the house with you. Even if you order Uber Eats, it's somebody else to
somebody there.
reflect it with
Exactly.
you. Like, you don't quite get it. Like,
Exactly. You know, so I mean, I guess on both spectrums, because you could be by yourself and you're like, oh my God, I'm by myself, or you can be with somebody and then really learn them. Because so many people
A lot
are
of people
married
broke up
and they don't
during
even
the-
know each other.
Yeah.
So now it was, you're stuck with each other and they're like, this ain't working. A lot of divorces. Or people get tighter and stronger, you know? So we all have our different stories.
We do.
We really do. But this has been wonderful.
Oh, is it that time?
It's that
Is she kicking us
time.
out? Is
It's
she
that
kicking us out?
time.
We thank y'all
And
so
we-
much for
and we-
coming. We love y'all. We thank
Sorry,
y'all
that
for
was
playing
loud.
with us. Like,
Put a little mute on.
we've had an amazing weekend, and just so much love.
Yes.
And shout out to the divas that were here.
Yes.
That were participating on the weekend.
Yes, yes, yes. All the divas, all the divas.
That's why I said, like, you really get. I'm sorry.
Sorry. We're not used to being like
But just like especially with us meeting Tisha, it just, you realize community is huge.
But I told you I was gonna pick up my whole house and sell it. And I
Yeah.
love living here. And I was like, I can't do it.
Why are we gonna?
Because I was by myself. Like I moved to this area
How long
for
have you lived?
2 years. March is 2 years.
Wow.
I mean, like October. All of my friends live in DC or Maryland.
Wow.
So like I love my area, but I truly
But
felt,
that's the same as
especially in
me.
COVID, I felt like
I'm in Jersey.
alone.
I'm by myself in Jersey. Like I
Yeah.
still have it, but
And we
didn't
kept
know.
on- we kept on
Schedule
saying,
it,
yeah.
Our schedules did not.
Yeah.
But I thought Carolyn is perfect though, because like I wouldn't have had time to be true to the friendship. Because I would have been running my behind to DC and Maryland every time versus now like really truly like being able to enjoy the
Oh,
community.
see how life works out. I love the universe.
Yes. Like, I'm like, it's just,
I do. It's
like
good.
I said,
It's a
it's
good
really
feeling.
been beautiful
Yeah.
because
Nice and
the
fuzzy.
number of times you have a conversation or interaction where you're like, you know what, God, I needed this today, right now,
Right
Yeah.
now.
because
You needed it.
yeah, I was in the
Yeah.
and just like I'll keep saying, the reality of being able to be yourself, being able to be like, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I'm on the foolishness sometimes.
Yes.
I make mistakes. I this, I that.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, I'm not perfect, and to know that I don't have to be, to know that I can show up and be like,
Like,
You
I
know
don't know, I'm
what?
making poor choices today.
Yeah.
But today is poor choice Thursday.
right.
Now tomorrow,
That we can keep over crab legs and sidecars and be like,
or Chick-fil-A and water.
listen,
Yeah.
listen. Be like, did you
Right.
listen? Like, let me hand you a probiotic and let me hand me some iron pill or whatever, vice versa. About it, like little things
Little
that
things
you're like,
matter.
yeah,
Those little things.
I needed to hear that. Oh, this is good. You like this? Oh, yeah, this. And it's stuff that you do all the time, but you realize in COVID that you didn't really appreciate it as much as you should have. Because I'm always like, I'm super grateful. Oh, the way my cloud of witnesses is set up. And then in COVID, you realize that people are making an active choice to show up for you. And it is intentional. And you realize that all of the stuff that you normally do to like replenish yourself, a lot of those things were not available. So you're showing up for people sometimes from a deficit. And it's not further depleting you. Like you showed up to an experience or, just to kiki and cut up and rest and relax and show up as you are. So it's like, it is.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we'll keep talking because I'm like,
so this is
I get separation anxiety now that we in person. I'm like, you can't
History
leave.
Month. We have our sisters. We love our sisters. We have our support team. And reach out to people. Pick up that phone. You never know who needs it. Because a lot of people can't say it. They won't say it. So love on each other. Love yourselves intentionally. Yes, intentionally love on each other. Okay, brunch breakers.
And look, intentionally love on yourself as well.
Yeah,
because sometimes people, show all the way up for people, and you have to pull them to the side and be like, okay, how did you show up for yourself?
Yes, you gotta love on yourself.
What did you do for you?
Yes.
What was just what was just for you?
I know.
I see both of you as well.
Yes.
Well, what did you do for you? Because I know you rescued people from a burning building. You put,
Are we gonna end this?
I'm sorry. You see how she did me? It's over, Cass. Cass is over. I got to go home.
I can't actually go home.
I have to.
But
She's like, you gonna make me miss my train.
But thank you guys. Thank you for coming and checking in on us. Wow.
Goofball.